I know some.
And that side is all yoga.
Acha.
And there are more books inside, and
So it is your library here.
my Poona residence also.
Ah, you have a residence in Poona? Still you have it this moment, or?
Yes, it is almost going to be ready.
Acha. Ah, so you will shift from here?
Yes.
You will shift from here and go to Poona?
Poona, I will be permanent residence in Poona.
And you will also leave the...
That's yet not decided. Next year I am going to retire. I will be 58.
retirement at what time?
58.
58? Not
Yes.
60 or 60?
They are saying that I should work more and extend, but I got more facility, more opportunities in
But I
university
think
and that
Dr.
area.
Nishal is more than 58, so...
No, he is younger to me. Hardly 50 to 53.
He's younger?
Yes. He looks older.
Really?
Yes.
He's older than you?
He's
Cholera, typhoid, food adulteration, water purification, water sampling, sewage purification and all that. Then I switch over to Britannia Biscuit, where I work in the food department. As
Yeah, Britannia, this mark, very famous, yeah.
famous. It's a UK-based company, and I was working in a company standard division in research and development division. I learned a lot over there. I was unit in charge also, some places. Then I left that, gathered some money, and then I went to yoga ashram in Lonavala, that is Kavalara.
Yeah, yoga ashram.
There I studied for 1 year, and then that only academical study is not enough. So I wandered over the India, where the real yogis are teaching traditionally. They don't want publicity, so they don't have degree, but they are masters in their subject. So I visited few places, and then I got in Manmad I got a small accommodation, our own house. So I did my sadhana. Sadhana, do you understand?
Yeah. Which kind of sadhana you have done?
Yoga and meditation and all that. Yes.
We can ask about this. How do,
this one first. 1 minute. Shift it. And then you can bring it down to these idols. This is a great yogi. This is Sai Baba, if you have heard of him. This is Akkalkot Swami. This is my guru.
What name this?
Akkalkot Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
And this is Lord Shiva, Lord Devi, and Ganpati. And these are my traditional.
you are from Brahman?
Yes.
You are Brahman.
Yes.
Only Brahman are allowed to do puja?
Not necessary.
Oh.
But in temples, mostly they are banned. But everybody's house you.
Dr. Prakash Ketkar. You have many titles.
Yes.
So you have also diploma in yoga education.
Correct.
You are macrobiologist also.
Yes.
You are a doctor in naturopathy, and you are also Reiki masters, yoga therapist, and you do also shiatsu.
Yes.
So many disciplines and so many things, and maybe many subjects and topics to discuss with you. First, I want to tell you or ask you what is naturopathy and what is the difference of your own naturopathy, what you are practice here in this ashram and other places.
See, naturopathy is not actually a correct word. The real word is nature cure. There are 3 words, you should understand it properly. Then you will understand this subject properly. First word is nature cure. Second is the natural hygiene. And the third word comes is naturopathy. Nature cure is a principle by which whole our body and whole the world is governed. And we make use of the nature's power to cure our body. And natural hygiene is the way of lifestyle since morning till next day morning. How you should live, what you should eat, how much exercise you should do, what age you should get married, what time you should sleep. Means natural hygiene thinks of every aspect and every corner of the life. And it will throw light on all your problems of the life.
You said
So it's a lifestyle, you see.
you said there is some inner power.
Yes,
Use
inner
it-
power,
what
that is
you mean by-
nature.
Acha.
That is
What do you-
nature. For example, you see, if you sprout methi, it is going to come above the ground after say 3-4 days.
Acha.
But coriander, it takes 9 to 10 days. So nature, there it is different, here it is different. See, our child, it takes nearly 1 year to stand on his own feet.
Yeah.
But see the small baby of a cow or of a goat,
Yeah.
in 1 day they start running on their own 4 limbs. So there the nature is different, in our nature is different. This is outer, I am saying.
Yeah.
Similarly, in our body, nature is controlling all our body, mind and intellect. For example, our heart is controlled by nature, that
Yeah.
it will give your beats for 70 times it will close, 70 times it will open.
Yeah.
And if there is any problem, then we get disease.
Yeah.
So originally nature has given you the best program. Similarly, our lungs, you see, for 15 to 20 times it will open and close. Everything is controlled within our body. When our growth is going to take place, when we are going to come into puberty, adolescent age, when the menstruation will start, when the menstruation will go off, when these teeth are going to fall in the beginning, when new teeth are going to come, everything is controlled by the nature. What is in our hand is to cooperate with the nature.
Acha.
We can't control and get to win over the nature, but we have to cooperate with the nature so we can get make best use of it.
But you are just telling that we use this power to cure. How we can
See,
use
that power is curing. We have to help that power. For example, I will tell you, suppose if you are met with the accident and if you have a fracture, what doctor he will do? He will just put a bandage or a plaster, he will keep it, and I will tell you that I will open after 21 days or 1 month. He doesn't go inside and repair the things.
Yeah.
The joining of the bones, it takes by the nature's power, not by the doctor. And after 1 month, if he opens and finds that it is not joined, he says the healing power is not working. So he will tell you again, that again we will wrap, and that nature is curing inside.
Okay. I want to ask you my other question. What is the difference between naturopathy, what you are practicing here, and the naturopathy otherwise?
So, when this nature, we have got different systems, and every system is in the harmony. When this harmony is disturbed, that the system's work becomes either hypo or hyper. That means, suppose normally we are in the good form and shape, but if the hypo function becomes, you become slim and thin. If the hyper becomes, you become obese.
Yeah.
If the BP is 120/80 normally, that is given by the nature. But if you disturb that, you become low BP patient or high BP patient. So everywhere you will find hypofunction or hyperfunction. Naturopathy is a science. When this hypo or hyperfunction has come into existence by our own abuses or mistake, with the help of the naturopathy, we can re-establish this function to its original form.
Acha. But I want to ask you about your own diagnosis when a patient comes to you. In which ways you do your diagnosis and you make your judgment which kind of cure he should follow?
See, whenever patient is coming, mostly he tries all the paths, you see. He comes along to us along with all the medical reports. And we do give honor to medical reports. Allopathy or Ayurveda or homeopathy, Unani, any system is good. We are not against that. But nowadays the commercialization taken place and unnecessary drugging, unnecessary operations. That is because of we have misused that power. So people use unnecessary all these drugs. They get toxicated. They come to us and they come along with the reports. Suppose the MR, CT scan report or whatever the reports are there. We study them also. We see the
but you have your own diagnosis. For example, Ayurveda they have pulse diagnosis. Allopathy they have analysis of laboratory. Naturopathy we haven't your own way of diagnosis.
Naturopathy depends on the 5 elements theory. So it is the Prithvi, Apa, Teja, Vayu and Akash.
Like Ayurveda.
Yes.
It's similar to Ayurveda,
Yeah.
but little difference is there. Prithvi means earth element, then water element, air element, light element, tej element, and then the Akash, space element.
Space.
So we see which element is lacking into him, and then we get help of the yoga
Through
aspect
what
also.
you can see.
Yes, I'll explain. We can get help of the yoga theory also.
Acha.
It depends on the pranamay kosh, annamay kosh, manomay kosh, and vijnanmay kosh.
One of these five.
Yes. So if he is having problem with the annamay kosh, we correct his diet and everything. If he is having problem with the pranamay kosh, then we correct through the proper breathing processes, pranayama processes, and through asana processes. If he is having problem in the manomay kosh, that is mind, we have to give him psychological treatment, proper understanding. This is one of the aspects. But real nature cure diagnosis, really if you are a sensitive nature cure therapist, just by seeing you, just by your movement, just by your way of speaking, we can make a diagnosis of the patient.
Acha. Acha. So this is the special kind of diagnosis in naturopathy?
Yes, it takes a number of years to diagnose the person. See how he eats, how he is sitting, how his expression, how he talks.
All this, they have their own weight for you?
Yes, of course.
Acha.
And we can definitely diagnose the person without getting his report, just by moving with him, sitting with him. It takes time,
Yeah.
but it is not the...
It takes time. It means by your own experience through seeing a lot, thousands and thousands of patients, you get your own way of diagnosis.
Yes.
Or it's a
Yes.
feeling, or it's one.
Feeling, you can just... It's a body language, you see. We can read the body.
It's not
what is happening.
a materialistic science. More, it's on the level of feeling.
We help we take the help of the material science, but it is a very short science. You see. Inside we have got so many things,
Yeah.
and if we have got this sensitive mind and sensitivity,
Yeah.
we can read in between. Where the MR and CT scan they are failed to read something, we can read beyond that.
Do you think or feel that intuition has his role in your own diagnosis as a
Very right question you ask. And unless the nature cure therapist or the yoga therapist, if he has not developed the intuition in him, I think so he will totally fail as a natural cure doctor or the
I want to ask you other question. You are just telling that there is many other kind like Unani medicine, like Ayurveda, like others. What is the speciality of naturopathy between and towards all the other disciplines of medicine?
This should be very clear with the patient that what we are doing and what they are doing. Mostly they are tackling with the diseases. Disease. When the disease comes, they tackle the disease, they remove the disease, and they stop.
Symptoms.
Stops. What we see that you should not get disease at all. That is the first priority of ours.
Acha,
And we try to give you the health. They don't bother about the health.
Acha.
Suppose if you have a back problem, they will just remove that back problem by giving the painkiller or something like that. For time being it is okay. After some time it's a possibility that you may get the diabetes.
Yeah.
And you may get, after some time you may get hypertension. So whole of your lifetime you will be going to the doctor.
Acha.
We don't expect. We are not treating the diseases, we are treating whole the body. So we treat body, physical body, mind and intellect too. And we see that you should get the total health. So the whole other systems, because our body works as a whole. Every system is not working as a separate entity. So whole body is connected. So we treat the whole body, they don't treat the whole body.
Other question, maybe in the same topic. What is the role of diet in your system, in your medicine, and your manner of cure?
Allopathy also thinks of diet, but naturopathy and yoga has given more wide range importance to the diet, and they have studied to the depth.
Yeah.
We have got diet of three types, you see, yoga concept. It's a tamoguni, rajoguni and sattva-guni diet.
Classical.
Yes. Yes, so if you have got the sattva-guni diet, you will have least possibility of getting the diseases. Tamoguni means more spicy, more stimulating. Rajoguni means you have more rust, more power-mindedness, more aggressiveness. And Sattva-guni diet means you will be very cool, calm, smooth, but very active personality. You will be cool, calm, very active. Rajoguni, Tamoguni diet, you are stimulated, not active. You are stimulated and you are restless.
Yeah.
Only active, but the cool and calm person can do the good work.
Acha.
So we have gone Sattva-guni diet. That is the yoga concept. But
And
nature.
you adopt this yoga concept in
Yes, of course.
naturopathy?
Yes, of course. But nature cured concept is much more, little bit different from this. There are 4 types of diet. You see. One is the raw diet, cooked diet, fruit diet, and juices.
Acha.
So we make all this combination together. And first thing, we have got 3 types of diet. One is eliminative diet,
To eliminate toxins.
eliminate the toxin. Then soothing diet, and then constructive diet. So first
What
we
is the,
we treat the patient with the eliminative diet.
yeah.
What are the toxins? We try to remove that. Then we give the soothing diet, and then we give the constructive diet.
Acha.
In constructive diet, raw diet is very important. But everybody can't digest the raw diet.
Yeah,
So
it is
it's very heavy.
heavy.
Because for thousands of years we have not eaten the raw diet.
Acha.
But in raw diet, all the vitamins, all the proteins, they are in living conditions.
Yeah.
So they are very, we can assimilate them easily.
Acha.
So initially raw diet is difficult. So we try to give them 20%, 30% raw diet into their daily schedule.
Acha.
So they get good enough strength. You cook the food more and more, the vitality part of the food, it just diminishes. So this way also we treat, and with the yogic concept also we treat, that is the Sattva-guni diet, Rajoguni diet and Tamoguni.
When you said Sattva Guni diet, it means no meat at all in your diet?
That's what we expect.
Veg?
No non-veg, absolutely no non-veg. No
Whatever,
drinks.
it's fish and
No stimulating this thing, but this is not possible for every person.
and no onion and no garlic?
Onion and garlic to some extent it will do. Unless you are a very spiritual kinded man,
Yeah.
or you are doing some mantra japa and tapasya and all that, where the finest purity is required,
Yeah.
then we avoid onion and garlic totally. But onion and garlic, they have got some medicinal value. In
Yeah.
case of blood pressure, it is useful. In case of very hot sun, onion is very useful. So depending upon the rutu, that means seasons, we change all this. In some seasons, we tell them to stop this onion garlic, but in some season, onion and garlic are useful. So it is totally individualistic, you see.
Do you combine in your diet the Ayurvedic philosophy and concept with Vata, Pitta, Kapha of the
See,
food?
Ayurvedic philosophy is the basic of all the medical sciences in India. Whether it's yoga or anything, it has originated or it has got connection with the Ayurveda also. But this Kapha, Vata, Pitta, that diagnosis, we don't use in natural care.
Why?
Because it's a different system. But those people who can understand little Ayurveda also, they make use of the Ayurveda also.
Acha.
Finally understand that we should not fight in between the pathis. All pathis God has created.
Acha.
And we should make best use of the combination of the pathis. But the basic should be nature cure and yoga path.
Acha. Last question about diet. In your own kitchen, when you are going to take food, there is no salt, there is no spices, there is no even sugar. Really, it's something, food for yogi or for hermitage man, something. Why all this kind which people like more in food are completely absent in your kitchen?
See, there are two things. During the treatment, you should stop all this. But as you come to your normal way of life and you become normal without any disease, not with the good health, I am of the opinion, to some extent, some spices, some salt, some sugar is required in your daily life. But it should not be in excess. And for few people, very few exceptional people, I may admit for some non-veg diet also.
Non-veg?
Non-veg in depending upon their climatic condition,
Achha.
where they are staying, availability of the food,
how many generations they are taken. Suddenly you can't change your lifestyle like that. So I am of the positive naturopathy side, not the negative. See, in negative naturopathy, they will tell you don't eat this, don't do this, don't eat this, don't eat this. So it's a negative form. Instead of you try to share the positive part. Suppose juices, this juice is useful for you, take that juice. Suppose this exercise is useful for you, you do that. Walking early in the morning is useful, take that aspect of this thing. So slowly your sattvic level, that sattva level starts increasing. From within only you will feel that you won't tempted to take the whatever forbidden by the nature. But it should not be made compulsory. If you make compulsory and forcibly, it never works.
You are lacto-vegetarian? You accept milk and milk products in your diet?
I'm basically inborn, by heredity I am a vegetarian. Milk we do take. Milk there is controversy. Western side people they are saying milk also is a non-veg product. We don't think that it's a non-veg product. Milk we take and nothing.
Even milk products also?
Milk products. But remember, nature cure, there are three things you see, unless you understand this thing. One is the control, Sayyam.
Control of?
Control of your all senses,
Acha.
control of food, control of your habits, control of your sleep, even excess exercise you shouldn't do. So control on your whole daily activity. Then purification. Every day you should purify your body, every day you should purify your mind by chanting the name of the God, depending upon your religion and practices, whatsoever they may be, and you should purify your thought level.
What about purifying the body? In which ways? What is the...
Yes, I'll come to that point, but purification,
so three.
Second is control, and third is just hold on. Rest.
Rest. Second, purification.
Yes. Rest, purification and control. In rest we teach them how to take the physical rest, psychological rest,
purification and control.
Intellectual rest,
and
then the purification and control. Now purification of body, it depends on the cell level and on the food level also. So food you take the non-stimulating food, which will purify your body.
We'll see about purification. Which kind of methods of purifications you are using?
See, purification we have to do at three levels. One is the body level, mind level, and intellect level. So for body purification, we have the good diet, that is purificative diet, soothing diet. So there are various forms of diet by which your internal organs will be purified. Then purified at the breathing level also. You have to purify your breath also. So early morning walk before the sunrise or around the time of sunrise, the ozone level is too much. All the world is awakening, and that time you get your breath purified. So walking is one of the signs. We get help of the yoga processes, that is pranayama and asana, that also your breath can, it becomes purified. So this is purification at the body level. Mind level, as I said, Gandhiji has said, or all the naturopaths, they are of the same view, that chanting of the name of the God, as per your religion, as per your faith, that is the only. So we say Ramanam, all depending upon Ram, Krishna, Shankar, Maruti, Ganpati, Mahavir, Buddha, Yeshu, Paigambar, Zarathustra. There are many sects, but all over the world it has been found that chanting of the name of the God, or in yoga, Omkar chanting, will purify your mind. And for intellect, we have got different holy scripts. We should change our level of thought. Unless we change our thought, our actions are not going to change.
And what about the methods of rest?
Rest is physical rest, first.
Yeah.
So in Nature Cure Center, you should have ample time to rest yourself. It should not be overburdened with the treatments, you see. That's a physical rest. Then psychological rest. You should get disconnected from all your senses, that is this thing. As far as possible, you should read newspaper less, minimize your phone minimize radios, minimize TV, because this is all outer thing you are just dumping inside. And unless you want to reach to yourself, all these outside things should be stopped. So mental relaxation will take place.
I want to ask you, but in a brief question and brief answer about the origin of naturopathy, from which knowledge is coming and who are the masters of this?
See, we believe that originally naturopathy was ours, Indian origin. But to be frank and real, story goes that about 150 years or 100 years, 200 years, Westerners, they have really started searching for this and they have developed all this science. And slowly it has come to us. The origin goes in 1930 when Mahatma Gandhi was in Africa. He came across with the books like Lwiis Saliba's books, then Return to Nature, just book, and he read that book and thought that this will be the best party for the poor Indians or the poor villagers. So since 1930 he was experimenting on himself with his...
So Mahatma Gandhi is one of the
yes,
first
one of the pioneers. Then he started this ashram in 1946. And with similarly in South also, Lakshman Shastri Sharma, they also came across with this book and they have experimented, they have done work over there.
I want to discuss with you also about your beliefs. You have already write in the entry of the ashram some beliefs. First one, more dishes, more diseases. Why? In brief, all this, because...
See, more complex food, it is difficult to digest. More complex food, it is
But more dishes, it means more...
more dishes mean at a time, not more dishes. You eat more also. Because it is tasty and you eat more also. So there should be less dishes.
More medicines, more miseries.
Medicine is a very fine science, and with very little medicine you can cure the disease. With more medicines, more toxins are there in the body. Unnecessary medicines, if you pour it, your body will get intoxicated.
More comfort, more complaints.
Comforts means you won't you will not have physical work.
Normally people like comfort.
Yes, we should have comfort, but simultaneously you should have more physical work and exercise also. People don't do exercise and physical work and only take comforts. So the body movement doesn't take place.
More relief and more grief. So more drugs, more doubts.
See, more drug means you don't have faith in one drug. Even one drug is enough. Many drugs are not required. But if you are not keeping faith with one body, you go with one doctor to another and mix a HOD of the drugs. That is very common.
Normally doctors, they give a lot of drugs.
That is not necessary at all. It's all commercialization. Mahatma Gandhi has wrote about this 50 years back. That these people will they will give more and more drugs and they will spoil the health of the poor villagers. 50 years back then he has written. And that's what we are finding it out today also.
More nourishment and more punishment.
If you eat unnecessary food in larger quantity, your stomach won't digest. Then you will have all disease conditions.
Common sense plus willpower equal health.
See, common sense is applicable over here is a body language. Your body tells you that I ate this and this has happened. So that common sense you should use it, but to use it, we should have the willpower, and only yoga can give you the willpower.
Health is the very foundation of your life.
Yes. Physical health, psychological health, intellectual health, spiritual health, unless you have got combination of all four of this, you won't be able to put on the life forces into proper practices.
Hunger is not only a good cook, but a physician too.
Physician,
so you prescribe hunger to keep...
But how much to eat, what to eat, only physician can tell you. Not the hunger can tell you. Hunger only gives you the indication. You want something. But what to eat, what time to eat, how to cook, only physician can tell you. Hunger won't...
But how hunger can be a good physician?
How? That's another question. See,
because they say hunger is not only a good cook, but a physician too.
In that angle, there is a hunger control center and there is a taste bud. Means this center is also there. Hunger control center tells you that hunger is over, now don't eat too much. So in that sense, that she is also a physician. If you know your hunger properly, you won't exceed.
And when the hunger is there, you won't avoid to stop eating also. In a proper time, you will eat everything.
Last one, we should eat what we require, not what we desire.
Yes, desire is all your vasanas, as you say, your temptations. We eat because of temptation, and that may not be required for you.
Achha.
So what is required by the body, that you should understand and that you should eat.
Want to ask and speak a little bit about the ashram and treatments in the ashram. We saw that there is many kind of treatment, like for example this mad powder.
Yes, yes.
What is mad? What is the material you what you use, and what is the benefit?
I will try to tell you in a nutshell. 1946, Mahatma Gandhi came over here. He stayed over here near the railway station. He treated the patients over here for 8 days.
Achha.
And then he established a trust over here. At that moment, nothing was over here. In 50 years, this ashram has come up. Balkoba Bhave, Vinubhai's brother, then Manibhai Desai, and Krishna Chandra Agrawal, these all three fellows were bachelors. And they have devoted their life for this ashram, and this ashram has come up. Our ashram speciality is there than other nature pure ashrams. We live more with the God principle. And so in treatment part, if you take it, first importance is given to unite with the God, like chanting your God's name. Second is the prayer. As you see, the weightage given is the first weightage, these two things, prayer. Then comes the diet. Then comes the yoga or the proper exercise and physical work. And then comes all these treatments. In treatments, we have got so many treatments. First is hydrotherapy. Second is mud therapy. Third is massage. Fourth is walking. Physiotherapy, acupressure, acupuncture, chromotherapy, all like that. About 10-12 treatments are there. Out of that, Gandhiji said that this Panchamahabhuta, 5 elements, we can use them as a treatment part of it, which is very easy. Air is available, water is available, and then the mud is available. You don't have to run anywhere. No complications.
It's a special quality
nothing,
of mud,
nothing special.
Normal mud.
Normal mud, but only it should not be polluted.
Achha.
Any insecticide, pesticide should not be there. So we try to find out a soil which is
You found
unfertile
it
for.
in your own.
Yes, nearby this soil is available. Or if you want, you can dig for 2 feet, and
Achha.
from below you can take it out.
Achha.
Or riverside, where the pollution of the insecticide, pesticide has not been done, that mud you can take it out. So mud therapy, hydrotherapy, principle is same. When you apply mud on your stomach, or when you sit in the katibar, the body temperature changes. So the criteria of the blood is that to maintain the same temperature in the body. So the blood will flush to that part. So through blood, we get the proper nutrition to that particular part. We get oxygen also. And when there is a certain change in the temperature, energy also flows over there. So our vital power starts flowing over there, and it starts rectifying or repairing the defects over there. So through mud and only hydrotherapy, we have cured more people. In skin diseases, mud therapy is the best. And only our institute is there that we accept all people with the skin diseases.
Achha. So you treat it by mud therapy, especially?
Yes,
Skin disease.
especially psoriasis, eczema.
And you get the results?
Yes, do we get. In all skin diseases, we are getting the best result. Of course, along with that, fasting and diet therapy and keeping his mind to the tranquil level, that also done. So all treatments are there.
Why we see a lot of skin diseases and cases in India? Maybe much more than other countries.
I have no idea about other countries, but I can agree. The climate conditions are there where it is very hot, and the hygienic condition may not be proper in them. So
and baby food, they are taking a lot of spicy food.
Yes, it is a irritating factor, so it increases. You see.
Okay, I want to ask you another topic this moment. You are also yoga therapist. How you as a doctor, you use yoga as a therapy?
So I can say nature cure and yoga, these are the two wheels of your chariot, you see. Without the yoga, nature cure will fail. Without the nature cure, yoga will fail.
But no, normally when you ask doctor about yoga, he has tendency, allopathic doctors, that it is not scientific, how we can use it as a...
No, now the whole picture is changing, at least in India and everywhere it is changing. Western countries, they are too much behind yoga. They are coming over here only for yoga, not for nature cure. So they have found out that we are naturally living, but unless the mind factor and whole lifestyle is changed through yoga, we are not going to get the good health. And here too also, now modern doctors, even we are receiving MBBS, MD doctors, even the health physicians we are receiving, and they are treating their hypertension, obesity, not diseases over here.
So you are taking this way that you treat many people by only yoga?
No, I make a combination. The food is important, but the controlling of the mind, changing your mind pattern is too important. And for physical purification also, pranayama and asana is a must. That is the first step. Because our lifestyle has changed a lot. We have got artificial lifestyle. Tensions have increased. So only yoga can get rid of this all tension and stressful life. And see all joints, suppose. Now we don't have the natural lifestyle. All our joints, we are not able to move properly. And inner system. Asana, it affects on your immune system, circulatory system, respiratory system. So we have to use that yoga also. Yoga therapy is the best therapy along with nature cure.
What about Reiki, as a Reiki master? How you use the Reiki as a...
See, where the patient is very depressed and he is not able to make his mind for nature cure and yoga, we can get the help of the Almighty power to change his that mental status of mind. And in that few cases I use Reiki. For everybody it is not required.
And how you use also Shiatsu?
Shiatsu is a wonderful science where the pain thing is there. All sciatica pain, lumbar spondylosis, cervical spondylosis, headache, some menstrual problems, we get wonderful results. With some little stomach problems.
And acupressure is same than Shiatsu, or there is some...
Acupressure mostly deals with the hand reflexology, foot reflexology, and in China on the ear, that is acupuncture. But Shiatsu is full body treatment. So we have
but
to
you are using both?
I use
acupressure.
I use the Shiatsu first. I give points on my own 7-8 days, and I give him the pressure points on the hand by which he can do on his own. So I make both the things together.
But when we saw all this, it's a combination or what? You are dealing with Shiatsu, dealing with yoga therapy, Reiki, naturopathy. So how you can combine all these systems which are coming from many and different disciplines and many and different knowledges?
See, I am very fortunate that I could get all the knowledge of this. See, any one pathway is not perfect pathway, you see. Naturopathy, especially food combination, it will be useful for you for your stomach disorder, intestinal disorders. And through food you can get good effects for other diseases also, but it is going to take a long time. Yoga and acupressure deals with your vital power. So where the energy is not flowing properly, where there is a short of energy, with this yogasana, pranayama and acupressure or shiatsu, we can balance the energy within 15 days. Through diet or through nature cure system, it will take very long time. And so far it is a drugless therapy. We are not putting anything inside his body. We can use all the drugless therapies to help him. So these are drugless therapies, they are just aid. They are not the basic principles. Nature cure and yoga is the basic principle. And acupressure, acupuncture, physiotherapy, they are just useful to help the nature cure and yoga.
Do you think that today there is more cases and more numbers of diseases than before, and why?
Of course, they are there. They are because we are going away from the nature. We are not understanding what are the body's rules, how body works. That is what has come. That doctors only tell us to take the pills, get rid of disease. But they don't teach you. Nature cure yoga is a complete different aspect. We teach you what is your body, why diseases are taking place, how you can avoid them,
without disease condition, and only absence of disease is not the health. Even WHO says that merely absence of disease is not the health. It is something different. So if you study the WHO definition, or only absence of any deformity is not disease. It's a total different condition of the body. So we teach you how you can maintain your health. Forget about getting the disease, but above that also, throughout your whole lifetime, how you can be healthy, how you can be energetic, how you can be cheerful, that we tell you.
Do you think that there is some relation between medicine system and spirituality?
If you take nature cure and yoga as a medicine system, I want to tell you Vinoba Bhave's one sentence. He used to say, हम रोगी होके आते हैं, भोगी होके रोगी होके आते हैं, और यहाँ से हमको जोगी बन के जाना है. Means we come here as a diseased person, but we have to become a yogi and a yogi. So our whole aim of this ashram is to bring everybody on the path of yoga, means to the path of realization. So nature cure and yoga is basically science meant to go for the reality of the path of realization. Though you might have come as a rogi, diseased person, we will remove that disease, we will make you disease free. But finally our aim is to again bring you to the path of yoga, which you might have forgotten in this birth.
According to your own experience, do you believe and feel that physician, the doctor, should be a spiritual man, should be a sage?
I say essentially he should be a spiritual man. Otherwise he will misguide the society. See, we can give good health to the people who are destroying this whole world. We should not help such people. So unless you have spiritual anger, you won't be able to help to only good people. You see. You should know the intention of the God to create this. This is so beautiful world. You have got the beautiful body inside, and you should create beautiful mind in every person.
In one word, according to your experience, how your spiritual life and your spiritual beliefs has already helps you in your job as a physician and doctor?
To be very frank with you, from the childhood I was on this path. And when my father and mother expired, I came across with this advertisement. And Manibhai asked me same question, why you are coming over here? I was happy at home, I was getting better money and facilities and all that. So I said I will be able to help more people by coming over here. Because this whole infrastructure and everything is ready over here. And that is what is my finding. In last 10 years, through my spiritual experience, I had many people at the first at the body level, mind level, intellectual level, and then to the spiritual level. Many people I could help them, and I am extremely happy, thankful to this institute for giving me this opportunity, and I may continue for years together.
Okay, Dr. Prakash Ketkar, we are very grateful to you for all this knowledge, and may God bless you and continue.
I thank a lot to give me this opportunity, and I request you to spread all this science of happiness for this beautiful life, making this world beautiful. First you make your body beautiful, good, and pass these messages to your country and to all people. Knowledge has no binding, no caste, no creed, no sex. So be a messenger of God and pass this knowledge to everybody. Thank you once again.
Yes. Namaste, Lwiis.
Namaste,
Good morning.
namaste.
Welcome to our house. Please come.
Very happy.
Very happy to see you. Please sit down. It's a very nice small house, but we have a
I'm
big
very
hall.
happy to meet
It's a
you.
very great opportunity for me to share my experiences for last 10 years. I'm very happy.
Me too. Also, I'm very happy to share and have some of your knowledge.
Now we'll have some exchanges on the nature cure and yoga. I'm extremely happy. Very nice. She's my wife, Mrs. Kaveri. We have got wonderful small house. You are welcome here anytime. We have got house in the Poona also. You are welcome there also. Even if you don't come to ashram, you can come over there.
Very
We welcome you.
She's your friend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take, she's your friend, no?
Yeah.
And I request you to pass this knowledge all over the world. I'll be very extremely happy. Next.